Good afternoon, YouTube's man. Always George Page, aka the Emperor of WMA Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Well, folks, as you know, I'm trying to get more on my WMA content because it's been kind of quiet with bodybuilding. Some stuff come up here and there, but some stuff I'm gonna talk about later on my Muscle Talk Mondays. So, as you know, I'm a fan of these ladies in MMA, and I'm a fan of one lady in particular here, Tatiana Suarez. And what I like about Tatiana, when you make a comment on her, especially on IG, she responds. And she has responded quite a few to my comments. That means she's more approachable. She's more open. I mean, I would love to interview her. I might even, see if she wants to do an interview. I'll probably wait till after her fight that's coming up. As you know, we've been waiting for Tatiana Suarez to come back. It's been since, I believe, 2019 she's had a fight. That's before everything went to pot. As you know, she was dealing with issues with her neck. And then she was talking about coming back in 2021, but things happened with that. But this saw this on social media, and also been talked about by my brothers, the coach, I think not Exe, he mentioned it. My sister Tate Brown, Combo Breaker 99, and also BJ at No Filter MMA, and they've been talking about this. Her return, and her return is coming up in February. I think it's February the 2nd, I believe. If I am wrong, I am be right. Yes, February 2nd, and it's her return. Will be up against, I think, February 25th, be up against Montana Del La Rosa. In Montana, as you know, has been she hasn't been active since 2022, and that was May. That's been, it's not too long. I mean, I've seen some fighters that we sit out a lot longer than that, but we all know Tachi was dealing with neck issues, and the neck, you most definitely need to take care of that, because if you don't, it can hit you when you are wrestling and you're on the ground, and sometimes it could be something somebody uses as a weakness. And Tatiana Suarez has been in the game for quite some time. As you remember, she was part of that season of Tough where they did I think strawweight division, and she won that show. She beat Amanda Baba Cooper. Remember Amanda Baba Cooper? She was the one talking junk to Mackenzie Dern, and Mackenzie Dern submitted her. And we hadn't seen Amanda Baba Cooper in a long time. I think they got cut. I think last I heard she got pregnant or something, and her husband, I don't know if she's going to come back and fighting. And then, as you know, also Montana also started out on the Ultimate Fighter. That was the year where he was debuting women's flyweight division, and she was one of those 4 left contenders. But and with Tatiana, she's been like undefeated. In the UFC, 5-0, and her total career is 8-0, undefeated. And with Montana, her numbers is kind of like, I think it's, she hasn't been doing too well. She took a lot of losses. I think her record is kind of, I believe it's since she's been in the UFC, it's not too good. It's like 5-3 in the UFC with 1 draw. And when Tatiana came in, she came in like a wrecking ball. I mean, she has put on some good performances. She dominated the performance by beating Alexa Grasso, and that's when after Alexa Grasso decided to move up, I think she choked her out. Then she just beat the crap out of Carla Esparza. That was around the time when Carla was just getting beat up a lot. And then she had a close call against Nina Ansaroff. I'm not calling her Nunez. I call her Ansaroff. Her and just whatever. And then after that, that was her last fight. That was 2019. It's gonna be almost, wow. You would think of it, almost 4 years since that fight. And then, because of her neck issues, she's taking some time off. She needed time to heal. And you know what? I'm surprised she didn't get cut. But like I said, she has a lot of potential, and that's why they kept her. So she said, she's fighting 115, and then she decided, no, let me go up, to 125. And this is where Montana's at. As you remember, she came in, she was doing pretty good. She went, she went almost, undefeated for a good while, going, beating people like Christy Marks. Then one of her former tough, compatriots, she beat Richard Ochovich, beat Nadia Kassem, who eventually got cut, lost to Angela Kekili, who I'm not a fan of. Then last fight she beat Mara Barella. How she beat that case? But this here, for that, after that fight, she lost to Viviana Araujo. And that was a whooping. And then she drawed with Marna Breno Silva. And yeah, that fight could have went in Silva's way, but I don't know why they called it a draw. I mean, I don't know. I don't get it. And then she beats Ariane Lipski. So here she went. She went, she lost to a Brazilian, draw with a Brazilian, and beat a Brazilian. But then she gets beaten by the future, quote unquote, what she calls herself, Macy Barber. And after that, we hadn't heard anything from Montana. So I heard that she was doing some commentary for a couple of organizations, or I think she might have done some work with Invicta too, and just do commentary, and just being at home with her kid and her husband. And then there was it was like almost, I would say, nearly, 2 years ago. It would have been it's going to be a year ago since this past December. That Tatiana would make a return against Grandma Modafferi. But because what happened was during training, she teared her knee. She had a knee injury. It was really bad. I was like messed up. I said, dang, that was going to be her 125 debut. And then she had this happen. I mean, this girl can't catch a break. And, she's been training and trying to get back, working with the issues with her knee and also other injuries. And you know what? She is determined. She wants to get back into the UFC. And, the UFC must really like her because you know what? I'm surprised she hadn't got cut. I'm telling the truth. And Montana, she had fought since he fought Macy Barber, and that's all the way in can you believe it? All the way in May. That was first early of May, right? And you thinking they'll probably have another fight for her, by the middle of the year. Maybe another, but they didn't. She, like I said, she was sitting off and just being at home with her husband and her kid. I mean, I'm surprised she didn't get pregnant. I remember when she was on Tough that year, Dana White had a lot of pay attention to her. And I think back Dana White saying, don't get pregnant, because back then she was just, she's 27 now. And that was she was like in her 23, 24, and, still young. You got to think about it, she's still young and fertile. And, Tatiana's a good wrestler. Her ground game is solid. That's how she wins most of her fights, by using her wrestling. And, Montana's a good BJJ artist. Decent, not the top-notch level, but decent enough, just decent enough. But both of them, one thing they need to work on is their stand-up. And that's one reason how come, that fight with Tatiana Nina, she barely got by her. Just barely got by. Because, she needs to work on her stand-up. And same thing with Montana. She had to work with her stand-up because, that fight with Mara Breno Silva, it was a draw. If she had better hand skills, it wouldn't be a draw. Or also, if she can get her to the ground, it probably would have been different. But, it's always these certain things you have to really fix to make you a better fighter. But these two are on their way to fight. This, like I said again, it's going to be February. I think the 25th, I'm sorry. And, my man BJ over at No Filter, he's kind of split. He's a big fan of both Tatiana and Montana. So he's kind of split. The brother, he's like, it's like Kramer versus Kramer. He don't know what to say. Should I go with mommy or should I go with daddy? I mean, but I respect BJ. He's a big fan of these ladies. My sense is Tatiana needs this win because you know what? She needs this because she was on her way, I think, where maybe she was undefeated. I think just one more fight, or she would have got the next title shot. But now I think she's going over to 125. That's another different animal. I don't know how she do. I think maybe she feel like she probably, she's 32 years old, and when you hit about in your 30s, you have a very short, small time, especially for a woman to try to go to the next level. With Montana, she's still young. She's in her late 20s, 27. So, that's the thing is she does have at least maybe a good 6-7 years before she said, call it quits and maybe want to start maybe have another kid with her husband because she has a daughter and her daughter's 10 years old. I saw a picture of her daughter. Dang, the girl looks like she's grown. But, Tatiana does have a boyfriend and, he's a brother. So you never know, some brothers after a while, they want to have kids. Maybe she'll try to see if she can last for another 2 more years before she gets close to 35. You have that little small window, ladies, for you to have children. Because, most men, there's some guys say, nah, I just want to be a woman. But some guys, they eventually want to start a family. So this is the thing. This is a do or die for both. This is a do or die for Tatiana because, she was doing great in 115. She was on the way probably for a title shot, but things happens with her injuries. And, with Montana, she was a prospect. She was, like I said, she lost to Nico for an opportunity for the title. And, if she beat Nico, she probably wouldn't have won the title because I think, she probably had to face Roxanne. Because remember, Roxy, she fought Nico because, Sarge got sick. because of the weight cuts. But these two women are just, truthfully, I think Montana's really on the chopping block. Like I said, they could have been cut Tatiana a long time ago, but they didn't because they saw something in her. And now going to 125, that's, a new division, probably works with her, and see how she does. I mean, but, they really want to push out some of the old weight. You still have, people like JoJo Calderwood. You still have Jennifer Maya. You still have Andrea KKK Lee and a couple others that probably need to go ahead and get out of that division and maybe bring some fresh blood to maybe try to grow that division more. They need to put in some fresh blood in 135, most definitely. But like I said, I'll talk about that another time. But anyway, this fight's coming up February the 25th. I think it's going to be on a fight night, I believe. I would say wish you luck to the best ladies, but I think more likely Tatiana's going to take this, and she deserves this. Anyways, man, always George Page, a.k.a. the Emperor of WMA Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.